Yeah, there's definitely a difference between like Black and African American, because you can be Black but not be from, Africa, or be African American. You can be like Caribbean or like anything else. And like Nia said, like African American, like we necessarily don't know like what part of Africa we come from. So our culture, like Black culture, is kind of like what we knew and what we grow up in, and it's just something like you can be Caribbean and Jamaican or Haitian, or you can be African American, and you may still have similar culture, just because we're kind of just like a melting pot of Black culture.
So I think like in that statement, the main word is necessary. I feel like especially in, say, like a job setting, like if I'm going in to do a job, I'm not going to talk like how I talk to my friends, and that's considered code switching, because talking to my friends, I have a different dialect, and a specifically Black dialect, compared to when I'm talking to a white male interviewer and I'm trying to get a job or a desk job. So I think it definitely is necessary in that stance. It also still depends on when you're comfortable with code switching.
I feel like I'm more comfortable in a room full of like diversity, and rather than just like, just Black people, because that's just how I grew up. Like I was in a very diverse high school, a very diverse community. Like my neighbor's Puerto Rican, I have a neighbor that's Black, I have a neighbor that's white, like literally, and Brazilian, like literally, like they're all just, my whole entire neighborhood is just diverse. So it's just something I grew up with and something I'm more comfortable with. So that's it for me.
So for me, I'm in the middle, because I definitely see both sides. Like if I was to walk in a room, like walk into a meeting or a room, like would have had no context of who's going to be there, and if I saw majority of people Black, I would definitely feel more comfortable. And then walking in a room just full of like white people. But I also agree with Spencer that I think diversity is really important to me. So like it's not that like if I walk into a room with like non-Black people, I'm completely uncomfortable. But I tend to like just relate to like people like Black people, and you can relate to them better, and you feel more comfortable and probably open to talk about like your struggles and experiences when you're with Black people. So.
Sure. So for me, I just feel more comfortable being in a room full of Black people, because I feel like I'm constantly just being out in public. There's a lot of stares, constantly having people just stare at me and just have that feeling. So I've gotten to the point where like I'm able to look past it, but it's still just an uncomfortable feeling that I would rather not be in. So when I'm in a room or just a place where it's predominantly Black people, kind of have that sense of just like I'm able to relax and just relate to people a lot easier. So I'm just more comfortable.
I am a business major, and I feel like you only see Black people in business when you seek them out. You see white CEOs, white CEOs. Why did I say that twice? You always see white CEOs or white people in a diversity equity position, which is now being filled by Black people. But don't even get me started on that topic. But like in the chief level of stuff, you don't see very many Black people, or you have to seek those people out, or it's only in one business. It's not across the board, which is why there was like, with the stuff that happened over the summer, there was a big push for people to start supporting Black businesses because it's not as well known. So no, I would not say that I'm represented well in my field at all.
So I said no to a certain extent because I feel like in certain situations there are black people that do try to make things about race whenever a situation kind of gets like heated a little bit. But I feel like for the majority of times it's other races, because when it does become an issue of race, not that it doesn't happen to other races, but it's mainly targeted towards like the black race whenever it's like an issue of race. So I feel like for the most part, black people aren't trying to start it or like initiate any of these racial issues. It's always most of the time that we're combating it or trying to go against it because somebody else started it with us.
Okay. I would say I'm in the middle as well because, like everyone has said, like black people don't really go out of their way to make it seem like they're bringing everything in the race. It's just like during conversation, like white people will think that because it'll feel like we're kind of taking it away from their God complex. So it kind of like takes away, and also like, you know, it kind of like puts emphasis on like white fragility because, like, you know, they think we're trying to strip them from everything. And also, like, since everyone has said like this country has been built on racism, we're trying to switch that, but we're not trying to switch it for the better, like putting us over them. So we're you know, we're trying to get to that equal point, but like some people don't see that, so that's why they think we make everything about race.
Okay, so I'm gonna say yes, but I am also still slightly in the middle. Just because I'm gonna take my example. I was in an Uber, it was late at night, and that was a sense of vulnerability for me. So for me to create problems with this grown man that I don't know and he is in control of where I'm going right now was not the stance to take action on the microaggression I had faced. But say it is someone that I see every day, or that I know I will be in close contact, or even close friends with. I'm going to address that so that it doesn't happen again and again and again to make me feel worse and worse and worse every time it happens.
For me, it's not so much that I'm afraid to like address it. It's just more of like there's a time and a place. So oftentimes at work, I might have a customer who I'm serving, and they might say something that's like a microaggression, and I notice it, and I might mention it slightly just so that they recognize what it was. But I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. One, because I'm at work, and then also I still gotta get back to work. I have other things to do. But then also where I might not make a big deal if it's like she said, if it's with a friend, and like obviously with my friend, I'm not gonna really get upset at them. I'm just kind of gonna educate them on what it was so that it doesn't happen again. But then also there's other times where you might be out and somebody might get really aggressive with you or take it to the extreme, or you just have the time that day to really address it at that time. So you'll make it a bigger thing so that they know not to do it again or whatever it may be.
I am proud to be Black.